Morning. Introduce yourself.
My name is Thoudam and I'm from Nepal, and I completed my graduation from the College of Arts and Art in History Honors, and now I'm pursuing my master's degree in Engineering and Archaeology from the university.
Okay. First question. If archaeological evidence contradicts a written record or source, should we automatically reject the written source? Why?
Well, in my opinion, if an archaeology does not have its limits on the rejection on any written records, because you guys, I don't know what
Hello.
See, they have the see, yeah, okay, good job.
Ano hello?
Tolong deh kayak
Pinrân ra ngộ.
pagi dulu ya. In my opinion, archaeology deals with its just archaeological findings, artifacts, and inscriptions, but written records mentions about everything that is literary, societal, academic, that is written in the manuscript. But archaeology is only for a corroboration with the literary texts, and it does not have its
Atau hanga gitu deh. If poverty is the root cause of crime, should poverty reduce a person's punishment for crime?
I can't.
Anh rất quan tâm đuổi đi.
There is one thing.
Ha.
There is one thing.
Aduh benete, rai bahang ke. Ko ama hang ke. If you could ask one question to a person who lived 100 years ago, what would you ask? If
I
you
go skeleton. The fun point where I listening capacity to learn man, the presence of mind to learn man way, and question to presence of mind and listening capacity to learn man, the English man, speaking skill man, everything is.
ay sa mana dre haidi chahi chama hena punsiraba mi do hingba da haidi nana ko pai first question yung hang do ise kai question number.
As I am a student of history, I love something more related. One is culture and its tradition and the academic development during time period of his lifetime. And I was also concerned and his argument with my own opinion regarding
Okay. Ada di pasar itu.
kali bahasa apa?
Sẽ nang apam nang em phải ba phrase ama gi question hang story bani na wanda season na wala pan kada ba question ni. If you had to explain the importance of history to someone who says the past doesn't matter, what would you say?
Past, I will object immediately because the past shapes our life. Everything that happens in our past, that is correlated with what I am here. So once you embrace all the incidents that happens in the past and which ultimately shapes one's life.
Next question. Indian history is often divided into ancient, medieval, and modern period. Do you think this periodization helps us understand Indian history, or does it sometimes create artificial boundaries between periods?
Artificial boundary, I don't think it would be, because classifications of the time period literally means the dominant community that established their own culture, traditions, and their political underpinnings during the time. For example, during the time of the medieval period, Muslim dominance, it doesn't really mean that there was all, and the people living during the time was all Muslim, and there was minority groups of the Hindus, and the same goes to every period. So I would claim that the historical period does not have its boundary because of the community belong to the time.
Okay. Next question. Was Ashoka Dhamma comparable in any way to Akbar policy of Sulh-i Kul? What were the fundamental differences?
Our policy morally relied on the policy of Dhamma, and the sects of Buddhism, its moral values, ethical values, and others. Sulh-i Kul primarily based on the eye for cat. Sulh-i Kul, I read around the city, but I don't get all of it.
Can economic changes bring about political change? Give a historical example.
I agree on that argument, because the fountain pen of a society or a reason is depend on its economic development. If a society or a reason has its own highly advanced economic development, then it will automatically have
I mean historical example of that situation.
example. My brain is defunct.
You have only 30 minutes to document the history of an unfamiliar village. What would you investigate first?
I will investigate. First, I will communicate with the villagers living in that region, and for documenting a historical paper, our first goals is ethnographic culture tradition, and I don't want to repeat again what I had in my mind. I only have that idea, and I hate repeating again and again what I had in my mind. It's all the same question. So.
What is more important for a civil servant, loyalty to the government or loyalty to the constitutions, and why?
Loyalty to the impractical, both are required, because the constitution sometimes.
You have to choose one.
Wow. I would recommend relying on the constitution, because it has all the rules that a government, that a civil servant can rely on the governments, and that's why I choose constitution.
Who gets represented in history and who gets left out, and why?
in most of the history, more flourishing area have its historical evidence, and somewhat place which is more and more areas in the time is neglected. So that
Can the emergence of Bhakti be seen as creating new spaces for women, or did it leave the basic social structure unchanged?
sorry.
You have three tasks, an urgent but unimportant, one important but not urgent, and one both urgent and important. Which do you do first and why?
I will do the more important work because
What more important? One is important but not urgent, and another one is important and urgent.
important and urgent, because ignoring an urgent emergency would lead to something fail. I cannot also explain in many languages as well. I have no knowledge. Presence of mind is somewhat weak for now.
Which had a greater long-term impact on India society, political change or the technological or economic change? Defend your answer.
Pardon me.
Tidak apa sih? Stop dulu dah berdua ini. Last question again. You have limited funds. You can either improve a hospital used by 10,000 people or build a smaller faculty for 1,000 people in a severely undeserved area. How would you decide?
I have. Can you please repeat that question?
You have limited funds. You can either improve a hospital used by 10,000 people or build a smaller faculty for 1,000 people in a separate, undeserved area. How would you decide? Ideas and limited funds.
Okay. Many put about in my head. I got no things that I got totally things that I will choose that.
Okay, let's end your
This is our first
interview.
interview after a long time. So we had some issues regarding
Tirang eh.
Kaya hindi lang, hindi basta